What up, friends, family, and people we don't even like? Thanks for tuning in to another week of No Vacancy Colorado's Stone Appetit. Before we get started, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Live Nation and the Fillmore Denver. If it wasn't for them, none of this would be possible, so shout out to you guys. And for our listeners, be sure you're following those two on Instagram and Facebook at Live Nation CO and at Fillmore Den, DEN. They have a bunch of shows coming up for those that are listening this week. We got Incubus the 13th and 14th. Next week we got Banks. The following week we got Angels and Airwaves. And then they're really ramping it up in October. So make sure you're following along for ticket giveaways, show announcements, swag bag galore, all that jazz. And then make sure you're following us online as well at No Vacancy Colorado. We try to help promote all of their shows and all the good times. So make sure you're keeping up to date with everything we're doing, and we'll try to make sure we can get you to the show on time. Without further ado, though, let's get this party started. Thanks to the guys at Seed and Smith for a great episode. Let's go.
One of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
Wheaties! I got Wheaties box! Thanks, sorry, I'm moving slow.
It's from Office Space.
Oh, fuck.
Wow. Only two of us watch movies.
I've seen like 6 movies my whole life. Oh. Man, this happens so often that I just stopped being embarrassing a while ago.
You just need to go and look up like Google
Just
movie quotes.
Movie quotes.
Like,
Just familiarize myself.
Memorize the page.
Fuck.
I mean, top 1,000 movie quotes.
Yep, we're good. Everyone's on.
Barry would be so disappointed in me right now.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of Stone Appetit. Coming to you this week from Seed and Smith, weed dispensary, grow house. Fuck, it's everything. It's just extractor. I mean, it's the mad scientist working up here. But we're hanging out here today with, we're going to go over the names again, but I think I got this. We got Robbie, Mike, and Blake.
And Brooks.
Brooks! Fuck! Yeah, so we're hanging out with some of the guys behind Seed and Smith. They do, like y'all had mentioned earlier, it's a seed to sale operation over here. They have revolutionized not only the, I guess we'll call it the cartridge game. Y'all are getting in the cartridge game, but also you'll have an epic tour of flower from vegetation all the way up. So we've enjoyed our afternoon hanging out with you guys, and we're kind of ready to get to know the nitty-gritty behind the companies. So, gentlemen, we appreciate you taking your time. We start every episode the same way. We want to first thank Live Nation for putting us on this great podcast. And then second off, Chris likes to lead every episode with the same question.
Yeah. So, I guess, first of all, we like to start out with, are you a transplant or a native? So, which one of you would like to start?
We'll do quick intros. Who wants to kick it off?
This is an easy one. I'm Brooks. I'm a native.
You're a native.
Here we go.
All right, let's hear it. Hold on. So, where are we from in Colorado?
What hospital were you born in?
Boulder Community.
No. Nice. They have good nurses.
Before it moved across town.
All right, so give us your brief bio, Brooks. What got you into the weed game?
Well, I've grew up in Boulder, and we always knew the guys in the hills west of Boulder growing up, and so they were somewhat of an influence on us. And my story's a little crazy. In 2006, one of my best friends since 3rd grade, his name's Paul. He took 2nd place in the World Series of Poker. Won Wasaka.
I remember the game, I guess the craze back in the day. I just didn't know.
So 2006 was the largest prize pool for the World Series of Poker ever.
Is that when Chris Moneymaker won it?
Moneymaker was in it. That's not when Moneymaker won. Jamie Gould won that year.
I may have been after. I've been a little bit after. Okay.
But anyway.
That's awesome.
Jamie Gould won, and Paul got 2nd. And so that was quite the crazy story. We all flew out there, saw the final table, all that good stuff. And in 2009, Paul came to me and he's like, medical marijuana is going to be big. And so I think we should do this. He said, you're a smart kid. Why don't you do this with me? And the rest is history.
Nice. I like how you got in. So, are you a gambler as well? You play poker?
I do not play poker except to beat Paul.
If he didn't pick up the tab at the Spearmint Rhino that night, that's fucked up.
There's a consistent theme that we run across with most of our guests, and
Close.
that, and it just seems like they all have that cool friend that we lack. Like, like you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
resent that, dickhead. Pretty cool.
I mean, you're cool, but you don't provide anything like what Brooks's buddy did.
You are 100% true. I have not played my friend. So that is a cool story, Brooks. Good luck beating that guy.
No, we like him equal. That's why I like to go first.
Nice. Still the thunder.
Who wants to go second?
I'll go. My story is way less interesting than Brooks. I was living in South Florida up until
Mike, by the way.
yes, Mike. My name is Mike. About 3 years ago now, almost coming up on 3 years ago. Brooks was, I was introduced to Brooks via a mutual acquaintance, and basically gave me the opportunity to jump ship from what I was doing in Florida. I was working in the healthcare field, and met Brooks. We talked on the phone a whole bunch. Gave me the opportunity to come out here, see what Seed & Smith is all about, and kind of the rest is history. I've kind of tagged along with Brooks here, helping him try to make this thing into what it is today, and I don't know, keep pushing into the future here.
So what's your role here at the?
What do I do?
You got that one.
What do you do here?
I have a hard time explaining that to a lot of people. Official title is logistics director.
He knows where the bodies are buried.
Yes. I don't know. It kind of encompasses everything. It's a big umbrella that, as new things develop, kind of get put under that, I think. Started off with everything from harvesting to plants, inventory, curing, packaging, and then sales, and then it kind of just evolved into new product develment and
Testing.
Yeah, we do testing.
Dude,
we just a
I
little.
want to be on the testing team.
Yeah. If y'all run focus
It's
groups,
not that kind of testing.
Well, no, don't get me wrong. There is that kind of testing.
There is.
We are those guys.
Yeah, no, I don't want to
That's
make too
how we
much
met.
light of it. Look, every product we grow out of here goes through a third-party certified lab. Has to test for all this stuff.
Work party.
But the true test, and look, that's the legal test we do to keep everybody safe to get this stuff out there. But the true test that we do, like when we develop a new product, assuming it can be legally sold and everything like that, we hand it out to the entire staff, friends and family every single time, and that's honestly what makes a lot of the decisions about where we should move forward with products at Seed & Smith. And I would say Mike and Robbie here are just completely instrumental in carrying that out, and we would not have the products that we have today without the Seed & Smith family and staff going through these, giving their feedback, and then quite honestly figuring out how to make it better than it was when they tested it.
I like it. So yeah, we're pretty fucking tight if you ask me at this point. So that harvest drops. So I need some batch.
Don't y'all worry. We can bring you
We'll be in
friends
the
and family
family.
testing.
Add to the group checks.
yeah, I thought you weren't supposed to get high off your own stash.
That's what they say to people that have problems like myself.
Okay.
Not all.
That's what they say to people whose stash is too small.
Oh, I like your style.
I've never heard that. That's a good.
really good. Yeah, I'm going to use that.
Yeah. We sold different things, but it's cool.
We know a guy.
Yeah, I got a guy. What's it called? Well, let's introduce our third guest as well. He called himself the Globber earlier, so we're going to ask him. That's Robbie. But Robbie, same question applies.
If I'm a native or not?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a world citizen.
Well, let's put the mic a little closer, and then what the fuck does world citizen mean?
So I was born in Illinois. I grew up mostly in Europe, between Belgium, Brussels, Belgium, Kiel, Germany, and Belfast, Northern Ireland.
We're going to do a whole episode with just you.
And then I moved to Georgia, and then I
country or the
moved
state?
the state. Well, it's a different country, but it's still in the
We're in
States.
Georgia.
I was actually in a place called
Right near the
Peachtree City.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
It has way more golf carts. Like, it has more golf cart paths than it does streets. That's how affluent this place was. It was ridiculous.
That's how you lose a lot of money.
So we can get into that as well. So the way we all met, I actually met Mike. Shout out to our friends at the clinic for the charity golf tournament. I lost some money to the boys from Seed and Smith. Sounds like they're a little bit of sandbagging kind of group. Shout out to Parks. I hope your whole staff listens to this. But yeah, we'll get back to that. But yeah, shout out to the charity class. If you want to make a donation, they're still always taking donations to help benefit Rocky Mountain MS Society. It covers Wyoming, Colorado, and New Mexico. So if you want to make a donation, go to the clinic, colorado.com/CCC. It's up. It's available. That's all I got.
Clinic
all right,
charity is
so
awesome too. So I traveled out here actually in 2010. I was a filmmaker and photographer and completely lost my ass in it. And so I started trimming weed, and I've been here ever since. Not with Seed and Smith. I've actually traveled through the ranks. I was actually at the clinic for a while. I was with them for 2 years, and I started out in 2011 trimming for the Herbal Cure. If you guys have ever been there.
Where's that?
Logan Street? Is it still in Logan?
Yeah, I'm not sure where they are now. One of their grows is just down the road.
Yeah, we're sitting here in the Green Mile. Oh, yeah, for those that are curious where we are, Oakland, 5070 Oakland Street, down here on the Green Mile, Badass Tours. Come down and see these guys. They're clowns. We're about to get into the nitty-gritty. So you've done a fair amount of work, I guess, Robbie, across the industry. What made you kind of, like, Belgium, Europe, come back to the States? What made you kind of, was the herb scene not very strong in Belgium? You want to come over here, or?
No, so the reason I moved all over the place was my old man actually was a VP for Caterpillar, the tractor company.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in the Army. I definitely thought you were going to
Everybody assumes that I was an Army brat. But no,
we call them Army babies. Please, we don't disparage.
But no, my old man dragged me and my family all throughout the world in the 90s when Caterpillar was just everywhere and globalization was taking off. So I had a really rare opportunity just to grow up over there and had a lot of fun. What brought me to Colorado or back to the United States as far as herb goes, is the fact that when I was 10 years old, I got what they call GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome. And I lost the ability to use my feet. I have no use of them to this point. And after doing years and years of pharmaceutical medications and just being depressed from that, I told them to take me off the shit, and I have been smoking weed ever since. And that's all I take.
It worked?
Yeah.
That's all you take?
Yeah, they told me I'd never climb mountains. I do them now. Well, not as frequently with a kid, but.
Hold on, when you said
that's the real ball and chain. They'll all have the kids. They're like, shit, we got to get out of here. That was just an excuse so I don't hang out with us longer. That's cool. It's cool. I get it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't talk about hiking today. It gets me sweating just thinking about it. Not a big outdoors guy over here. Big bar scene guy, but not a big outdoors guy. But that is really fucking awesome. So you have like the drive and then the passion, and then you're like, oh, and I can actually a testimonial, in a medicinal sense.
100%. When I first got in the industry, I used to tell people that I was like, I'm the poster child for medical marijuana. Like this is exactly what I need it for. I self-medicated. I got myself to a point where I knew exactly what I needed to smoke, when I needed to smoke it, and how it would make me feel, just so I could be a functional person.
And that's how you became Globber?
And that's how I became the Globber. I didn't say how much I have to use.
Right.
Hey, look, we have some dab guys in our crew, and I'm not going to lie to you. It just knocks my dick in the dirt. And so I'm always stuck to the flour and the pins. So, if you're the Globber, that means, can you take down like a gram dab to the dough?
No, I would never attest to that. I would never wake up from that either.
Yeah, that's good. So how about you, Mike? I guess you mentioned you're not as regular user as maybe we three are.
He's our baby boy of the bunch.
But that I'm in a unique position that I can attest to what the majority of people coming into this industry that don't smoke a ton need or like or want. There's a whole segment of this country that is going to start smoking weed pretty soon, and not everybody wants to be Globber. I don't know what you got a cool nickname over there.
Cool nickname, bro?
I don't.
Paul's friend.
Paul's friend.
You kind of look like Paul Rudd. Yeah. So Paul's friend, Globber, and Mike.
But no, man. 2 hits, 3 hits of a joint, I'm good. 1 hit of that dart, I'm good. So no, I've taken a dab with him. That's I'm not saying
it was a magical moment.
I'm not saying it's the last dab I'll ever do, but that's I'm good for a while. Yeah.